What's going on, guys? Just wanted to make a quick video of my bike here. It's a 02 YZ250. The guy wanted $1,500 for it, but I got it for $1,000, which I don't think is too bad of a deal considering the shape that it's in and everything. So if you guys are watching this video and you're trying to buy and sell dirt bikes, it's definitely a good way of making a little bit of extra money. If you can find a deal good enough, definitely look on Craigslist. Facebook is another good one. If you can find your local Facebook groups that sell dirt bikes and stuff like that, you can. I found some good deals on there before. You just got to know where to look, especially locally. If you know people with dirt bikes or people in your neighborhood, you know that they got dirt bikes. You never know. Just ask them, see if they want to sell anything, trade anything. Yeah, so overall condition of this bike, I would say it's right now it's probably pretty fair. The bike was sitting for I think about 2 years maybe, and never really gotten ridden too much, but did have a top end put on it that he said that didn't have too many hours on it, and I believe him because the bike still starts first kick no problem. It doesn't run perfectly fine, but I think it just needs the carburetor cleaned out or something like that. I haven't taken it apart or anything yet, just because I think it runs okay. I don't know if I feel like taking the carb out and cleaning it, honestly, because it runs okay the way it is. And I mean, it could get a little bit better with the carb cleaned, or it could not, I don't know. So yeah, I just kind of left it as that. But it actually did sit in a shop, so at least it wasn't sitting outside. Front tires aren't bad. They're a little bit old, you could tell, but tread isn't too bad on them. If you're gonna do motocross and stuff like that, you'd probably want to put a new tire on, but for just trail riding and stuff like that, it's fine. So yeah, the wheels on here, I do believe these are the stock wheels, but I'm not completely sure. When I got them, I just used some polish, and they cleaned up really good, actually. Just there's a lot of buildup on it because, you know, the bike was sitting, and I don't think he really washed it as much as he should, because there was a whole bunch of just grease buildup all on the motor and all around the brake caliper and all that. So I just had to go over it with some degreaser and just really get all that stuff out. But yeah, the wheels are good. They cleaned up really nice. They actually look good in the light and everything. They shine good. Rotors aren't bad. I'm not too sure about brake pads, but the motor's pretty clean. As I said, it did have a lot of buildup on it, but I did get that off. One thing you want to do if you're buying a bike that's older and that's been sitting, you're going to want to drain the gas out. So that was the first thing that I did, was get that old gas out, and it was just really dark and dirty gas. I'm surprised that it even ran with that in there, because that gas must have been pretty old. But yeah, as you can see, I mean, I cleaned it up. I still want to give it a clean because I'm going to be switching out the plastics on it today as well. So I want to clean it up before I do that. But you can see, even I want to clean this chain because it's just got a whole bunch of buildup on it. And you can see here that it actually is a gold chain. It's actually a Renthal chain, so he did replace it. And I just noticed here, you can see that this is a Renthal sprocket here, so I guess he did replace that too. This pipe here is pretty beat up, dented, and it's rusting a little bit, so I actually picked up some header paint, and I'm gonna go ahead and repaint this exhaust too, just to freshen it up a little bit. So overall, what I've done to this bike so far is, well, first of all, I drained the gas out. I bought some new oil for it to put in, and actually the drain plug was stripped out, and it was in there really good, so I couldn't get it out. I actually had to end up welding a bolt onto it and getting it out that way. So that was kind of a pain. That kind of pushed back everything because it just took a while to get that out. And so yeah, I got that in now. And I put a new air filter in as well. Obviously put new gas in. The air filter was in there, was just really dirty. It was black, covered in black oil, and it was kind of just like disintegrating. So I thought I might as well just throw a new one in there. I cleaned it up as I said. When I first got it, it was just covered in dust and had a lot of grease and oil buildup on it, on the motor and on the bottom and all over the bike counter. I polished the wheels up. As you can see, these grips are kind of torn up. He did give me some grips for free that he had laying around, so I got those for me. I guess he also had these bars on here. I'm not sure what kind of bars these are, if these are pro taper or not, but yeah, so those bars are good. He probably bent the old bars on there, judging by the condition of this thing. Also, the back fender on here was cracked, and he actually stitched it back together pretty good actually, because you can see how sturdy this is. I mean, I'm pulling on it. It almost feels like, I mean, you really can't tell that it was broken off unless you take the seat off and you see it, because I couldn't tell at first. But yeah, that's just things to look at when you're looking over bikes. You always just want to look at most of the major things. Just make sure nothing's majorly wrong with it, like it's got a crack in the case, or the frame is bent, or the frame's cracked somewhere. That's the things that you kind of want to stay away from when getting a dirt bike, trying to sell it, because you'll end up running into spending more money than you want to. But yeah, things like plastics being beat up, and if you can get it for a cheap price and the plastics are beat up, graphics, whatever, and the tires aren't bad, or if the tires are bad, you know, and you can get it for, you just want to weigh out of how much you're going to spend putting into it, and then how much you're going to get out. So with the dirt bike, I would usually want to make at least $500. So with this bike, I paid $1,000, and I probably want to try and sell it for about $2,000 at least. So I'm probably gonna put it up for, that's another thing, you want to put it up a little bit over the price of what you really want to get out of it. So especially when you first put it up, I might try and put it up for $2,500, depending on how good this bike looks when it comes out. But I'm most likely gonna put it up for $23,000 and see if I get any offers or anything like that. If anything, the lowest that I'm gonna go is $2,000. So, and then at $2,000 right now, I spent about $100 for the plastics. I got them off of eBay. I also got a graphics kit off of eBay, air filter, spark plug, oil, had to buy a new drain bolt. You know, other than that, just washing and stuff like that, came out to about $200. So I got about $1,200 into it right now. If I can sell it for $2,000, then I'm making $700, which I'm happy with. And if I can get it for $23,000, then I'll make $1,000 off of it, which is really good for a dirt bike. Because, you know, with these things, if you I just kind of do it just to have fun, and I'm not really trying to make a whole bunch of money off of it. You know, I just get the bikes. I like to work on them, fix them up, ride them for a little bit, and then get rid of them, then get a new bike. It's just kind of fun to do. But yeah, you can definitely make a lot of money doing it if you really get serious. I've seen people, you know, picking up 10, 15 dirt bikes. You know, you're selling them for $300 a piece. You're making, I mean, $300 off of each one. You know, you can rack up a lot of money. It's just, yeah, it's just however you want to do it. And you really don't even have to fix up a bike. You know, even like a bike like this, I didn't have to do any work to it. You know, I could have left it the way it was, and I probably could have sold it. I probably could have just cleaned it up, not done anything to it, and I probably could have sold it for $1,500. But I kind of just wanted to work on it, make it cleaner, you know, and see what I can really get out of it. But if you do want to be safe, and you know, I recommend if you're starting out trying to do it, that's a good approach to go, because you're not putting too much money into a bike, and then you don't know if you're gonna end up selling it for what you want or how long you're gonna have it before it sells and stuff like that. So you can always do that too. But I think definitely if you fix up a bike and you make it look clean and stuff, like putting new plastics on, graphics definitely too, because graphics isn't needed, but I just felt like I might as well just get the graphics, because I think that it makes it stand out from the other bikes, and it makes it look nicer. And you know how to work on bikes, then you can pick up bikes with that are blown up and stuff like that. I don't really work on motors too crazy. I mean, I work on carbs, and I haven't rebuilt a motor before, so I don't know. But I know that 2-strokes are really easy to work on, so if you're gonna get a bike that's blown up, I would definitely recommend getting a 2-stroke, because it's a lot easier and cheaper to do. Unless you already know how to work on bikes and you can do 4-strokes and stuff like that, then 4-strokes are good too. It's just a little bit more work and a little bit more expensive to do. But yeah, as everything else, as far as suspension, you want to check and make sure the forks aren't leaking, and just check for major things that are going to be more expensive. Obviously things with the motor as well too. The main thing is going to be, you want to check the motor, frame, wheels. You want to make sure the wheels aren't dented, because wheels are expensive to replace. Make sure the tires aren't dry rotted, and let's make sure the suspension is all working good, the brakes all work good. Sprocket. This sprocket on here is not bad. It could need to be replaced soon though, but there's no missing teeth out of it, so I'm gonna leave it. But overall, not a bad bike at all. Crazy fast. I'm not sure if I would even want a bike this crazy. I mean, I have a Raptor 700 4-wheeler. I'm more of a 4-wheeler guy, but I'm just now getting more into dirt bikes. So yeah, this bike is crazy though. The power of a 2-stroke, man. I never rode anything like 250 that big before, so this thing is just crazy, and it'll just pull a wheelie up on you no problem. So yeah, I'm just gonna give the bike a wash, and then I'll give you guys an update back after that.